Okay, '06 Boys Elite One. It's time for a little soccer education on what we're doing and what we're trying to do and what you guys can look for this weekend at our first tournament. We have been working on one phase of the game, which was possession. So, not a whole lot of time spent on defending, and not really a whole lot of time spent on goal scoring. But the possession and maintaining possession and trying to build up the attack. So let's look at what we've been doing a little bit here. So, got my lovely field that you can see. So what we've been doing, if you could see in our first game, in our first couple scrimmages, we play here. This is our shape. Got a little goalkeeper back here as usual. We play with four in the back, as you can see here. Four midfielders, which I'm calling this a midfielder, center mid, and a left mid. And then we play with this like withdrawn striker or supporting striker, as they call it on the video games. And then a true striker or center forward. So this is kind of our shape, how we play. Sometimes it looks like with those players higher and this player back. Sometimes it looks like a couple different formations, but that's kind of how I refer to it. So maybe you can refer to it that way as well. So what do? Typically, we are trying in possession. We try to keep the ball and we're moving the ball in multiple directions. And we play right back here in our own half. This happened a lot against Northwest Indiana Lions. It happened a lot against '06 Elite 2 when we scrimmaged them a couple of times over the summer and building up. So what we basically tried to do was, can we play behind their back line earlier? So usually this is too far of a pass from our back line behind their back line. It was not too far of a pass for that Kansas State Championship team that we played against in regionals. So we got some work to do on long distance passing, but it's a little bit too far for us right now to hit that ball behind their back line. So we work on getting the ball into the midfield, and then can we play this ball behind the back line? We have then talked about how to move up the field and get onto that ball with maybe not necessarily having to go at goal. If that player can go at goal, they certainly do. If not, we typically get run to a corner with defending players. Okay, so now what does our shape look like? So we come up into this shape, and now this is what we've been spending a lot of time in training working on. Okay, so now everybody's up in the attacking half. So we look at our back four, we see our midfield four, and then those two forwards. So in this scenario, we're trying to get the ball into these areas. The two wide players have been working on staying in different vertical channels on the field. So if you see the players one in front of the other, that doesn't help their situation. If they can get offset from each other when they're in wide areas, they'll be able to support each other better and attack a little bit better. So that's what we're trying to do. So if they get into this position, then this player could turn away, connect. Now, what I've been asking is for these midfielders. So if this midfielder is showing for the ball and coming out, then what is this player doing? What is this wide left player doing? And what is our left back doing? So when you're off of the ball, what are you doing? In and around the ball, these players are expected to move as well. So try to zoom out here a little bit. So this is what we're trying to look at. So if this happens, we switch the ball from one side, comes in here, our left back starts running out, and we play the ball out here. So now, this week at training, this weekend, we are going to look at, so we switch the ball from right to left. I'm going to look at how players move. The players on the ball are trying overlaps, 1-2s, up back throughs, all these combinations. A wall pass or a 1-2 would be playing there, running around, getting it back. We scored a great goal against both the U13s and Northwest Indiana doing just exactly that. So great job there. If this ball came out wide and he ran inside with it, then this player could overlap and play out, which would be that second combination that we talked about. And if these forwards are over on this side, the ball could come in this way. We could play into a forward to that wide player coming around, all of which is getting the ball in these dangerous areas out here. So that is what we're trying to do. And again, as we switch the ball, we are trying to prevent a counterattack. So if they have 2 forwards high, let's get those out there. If they're leaving 2 players high, we will have one of our center mids come back. The strong side will go and the weak side will come back. So we have 3 for their 2 players. One of our center backs would drop so that we don't have to match their speed 1 for 1, and we're in good shape here. If they have 3 forwards high, which some teams do, then our right back would also have to come back in that scenario to come back. So then what are we looking at for the service? Our right mid getting to the back post, our center forward getting into the box, our supporting forward getting into the box, and one of our 2 center mids getting to the top of the box. Notice one of them is clear back here, preventing the counterattack. Then we've got our left back on the ball and our left mid approaching late as well. So this would be a tremendous shape if we could make that happen on our attacks. So I want to give you guys those little looks, and hopefully that wasn't too fast. Obviously I could talk about that for an hour, just that basic movement, but we're trying to look at moving the ball from side to side. When we get numbers up, either 2 versus 1 or 3 of us versus 2, then we're looking to attack that area. So we're trying to be patient until we have numbers up. Could we go 1 versus 1? Yes, that's a good thing to do. The problem with going 1 versus 1 is not for the result. Going 1 versus 1 is great for a result today. The problem with going 1 versus 1 means if we can beat their player individually, then there's not a whole lot that we have to do. We're just better than they are. We'll win the game. I am trying to train and develop these players so that when the other players are better than us, so if we were 1 versus 1, that their player would be better than us. The goal is that we can still win those games. So we are training to beat teams and individuals that are better than us, and we're trying to do that collectively. So by doing this, by creating numbers up, 2 of us against their 1, 3 of us against their 2, trying to create these scenarios is what we are trying to look for and build up to. That doesn't mean that we're not going to try to get a result this weekend. We certainly are. But the bigger part of it, trying to get overloads in wide areas, is our main focus. And how do we move to stop counterattacks while other players are attacking? So right now, look for 7 of us to attack with 3 defending if they have 2 forwards. 6 of us to attack with 4 defending if they have 3 forwards. And that's basically the setup. This is what the expectation is for the weekend. If you see them do that this weekend, please cheer. Please let them know. Please let them know that you saw something that we've been working on. Or if you don't pay attention at all and you just want to cheer when your kid has the ball, that's okay too. Yeah. Looking forward to the weekend. Thanks, guys.